What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to the CIA. One love, FBI. What's good, people? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do that. Hold on. Darn. Man, last night's live stream was fire. Is that what I think it is? Huh? Yes. All right, sorry about that. Station break. Let's get into it. All right. Shout out to the CIA, One Love, FBI, all that good stuff. Last night's live stream was woo! I'm not gonna lie. I woke up to lots of emails from women. Lots of emails from women. And it's going to have import in today's show. I had lots of emails from women basically saying, ooh, you know, for the most part, they were, oh my God, I did not know. You know, it was the, let's be honest, it was the my bad emails. My bad. I didn't know that no one else responded. And what it kind of shows is kind of some of the stuff men talk about. That ladies, you're going to have to learn men, because men pay attention to this stuff. I did find it interesting, though. I did have a couple of women, and I'm gonna address this. Oh, well, for those of you who don't know, check out the video I did last night. You'll want to see it. I talked about the women's event and how I have 12 women enrolled right now, and none of them are Black. And close to 40 Black women were invited, and nobody responded after saying they wanted to attend and sending multiple emails. I mean, we're not talking about, you know, just send me some information. These are people who would, for the most part, all it said, yeah, I want to go. I've been asking me since July. I wanted to touch base on one thing. One, I had a couple of people actually say something to this effect. It costs too much. You priced yourself out of the market and proceeded to try to give me a lesson on what I should do. Let me just read part of this email, because the arrogance of some folks, I'm just, wow, clueless. Let me go ahead and read this. I'm not going to say the person's name, but here's part of the problem. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. Now, Gucci, Fendi, Neiman Marcus, Tom Ford, Macy's, Gap, they all have customers. But this is what happens far too often. Unfortunately, I think you priced yourself out of the market. And then she starts to tell me how to run my business. And here's what I want you to understand. This senior academic advisor tells me, on average, an image consultant charges from $20 an hour to $500. I am a certified image master, and I've been in my business for close to a decade now. And this senior academic advisor is really trying to tell me how much someone at my level should be charging. She said $20. 20. Ma'am, leave my channel. $20. I'm glad I did the show last night, because just like there's some guys that we're doing the separation from guys, you ladies need to understand who you're hanging out with and who's around you, because if you honestly think that someone of my skill, my experience should charge $20 an hour, I don't even want to breathe the same air you breathe. Let me let you understand something, lady. My business is just fine. I am running a thriving business. But if I had to work with people like you, I would be out of business. Just like why Rebecca Lynn Pope no longer works with you. Why April Mason and so many people are pulling back from working with this segment of women. Just for shits and giggles, Derek Jackson, Stephane Labossiere, and Ace Metaphor did a love summit, and the tickets were $99 to $299, and the 900 women showed up in Philadelphia. Well, you know Derek Jackson? No, and he's no Kevin Samuels. You know Ace Metaphor? No, I'm better. You know, Stefan, I'm better. In my business, I am one of the best at what I do. And you're talking about for a 2-hour thing in Philadelphia, women were paying $99 to $300 for 2 hours. And we're talking about an event that would have been an entire Saturday and part of a day on Sunday. This is the mindset of some of these women who say they want better. It's not a matter of, when I was in sales, I had to learn how to deal with the price rejection. And one of the things you need to tell people is my price, I don't charge too much. You just don't make enough. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, the nerve, the absolute nerve that men, Black men in particular, can afford to pay 50% more than the women were paying. Actually, Black men were paying, in some cases, even if you look at the virtual ticket, it was 4 times as, it was 25% of what men were paying. And that wasn't cheap enough. I told you, some of these people just don't feel like they should have to pay anything. So anyway, let's get on. Let me get on what I'm saying. I'm laughing, right? I mean, really, guys, if I could tell you, this woman wrote a 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, she wrote bullet points and everything else. You know what I did? Lady, I'm blocking you. I don't come to my channel. And please, if you stick your head up in the chat room, I am going to roast the crap out of you. You senior academic advisor, the nerve. That would be like coming to an attorney and saying, "I'm sorry, sir, you are this sort of attorney, or you're a cardiologist, and you went to this school and that school, and you have this and that and such and so forth, but I'm special. I'm a woman, so damn what you're really worth. You should lower it to serve people like me." And you know why this pisses me off so much? Let me tell you exactly why it bothers me so much. She actually had the nerve to say this. "I think you're definitely onto something. Very powerful, Mr. Samuels, and you misspelled my name, you fool. I enjoy your message. Unfortunately, you priced me out of your marketplace." No, ma'am, you're not on our level. You're not on my guy's level. I need you to understand that I didn't price myself out of the market. You're not on the level you think you are. So take your title and whatever that matters, because apparently it doesn't pay you any money. And to think that someone should go charge $20 an hour, a certified corporate image consultant, a certified master level image consultant should make $40,000 a year in this bird brain's mind. I want you guys to go, if you just went and did a quick search on, anyway, I don't want you to even do it. I just want you to understand how far off. Wow. Now but here's the funny thing. Guarantee what she wanted to really say is you're a Black man and you ain't worth. What she was really saying is you're a Black man and what you do is good, but it ain't worth no money. That's what she was really saying. I wouldn't pay that money to a Black man, is what she was really saying. Because I guarantee you, she never rolled her ass up into Neiman Marcus talking about Chanel was charging too much money, but Chanel can charge that money because it's Chanel. You know, Dior, all these other folks, they can charge that money. See, that's why I need you guys to understand. You need to thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly run women through the paces when you start getting at a certain level, because you are worth more than they want to pay with their bringing them to the table. I ain't talking about money, but when you've done the work to become the best version of yourself, I'd be damned if you should be
just showing support /love.
Appreciate it. I'd be damned if I want you to put this ethanol in your car. That's why I call them ethanol. Yeah, you're ethanol. Thank you, Erica. I mean, Erica, this woman actually, when I tell you she wrote 4 paragraphs. Unfortunately, I think you price yourself out of market. As a businessman, you understand numbers very well and demographics. The population you're trying to reach includes professional women who are seeking to level up. Okay, so you want the outcome and you're a professional. As a previous educator, I can tell you the first thing a woman does after clicking your link, I did research on comparison when you requested your price. You research what? Stylist? If you research image consultants, you realize, oh, Jesus, what he's charging?
Keep preaching the truth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Keep your ass over at Church's Chicken, Popeyes, JJ's Wings, and whatever other budget stuff you think is And the funny thing is, think about it. Think about the arrogance. The first thing I did after clicking your link is I said, that costs too much. I'm not paying that to a black man. So I went and researched and found information to line up with what I already think. It's called confirmation bias, you idiot. How much does a pair of boots cost? It depends on who's going to buy them. You can go find a pair of boots at $39. You got men on YouTube that say they don't pay more than $30 for a pair of shoes. And you laugh at them, but then you want men who pay $700, $1,000, $2,000 for them. See, you want the outcome and you want those guys, but you, as a professional educator, which is a fancy word for saying a teacher who's broke, and obviously you wanted to attend, but your ass is too broke. Here's the reason you're broke, because you're single. You know, the women who I had with clients never had to hear anything about money as they were married. I didn't work with single women because single women are broke. Married women paid the retainer up front. I started my business working with women. Jesus Christ. Just give me a second. I started my business I started out working with women. And you know what was the largest sector of business I had? It was white women. White women. White women. I had several sisters as clients, but white women. You know the easiest women I work with? White women. When I worked with a sister who was a cardiologist who had had the money, she was making over $1 million a year. She would consistently miss her appointment. Look here, man. Look. If everybody's saying the same thing about you, even women are saying you're deluded, you need to understand and do something, because whatever reason, check your ring finger, previous educator. And then she wants to try to tell me as an educator what a sales, when you're trying to get new clients, your language, oh, Jesus Christ. Lady, don't you, wow. Wow. Why am I roasting this woman? Because guys, these women exist out in the world and they want you. They want you and they want you to accept them the way they are. And you don't have to. Don't lower your standard. Don't lower your price to come back when you have more money. Simple as that. All right. How to get a social life that other men will envy. Gentlemen have social lives. That's the truth. Gentlemen have social lives. Let's lighten up. Gentlemen have social lives. Now, the big problem with a lot of guys today is it's not as though you don't have the education. You're already in the boys club. The boys club is you're a high earner. You're already in the Henry Boys Club. Most of you guys are in the Henry Boys Club. It's just you've had your head down.
I'm not going to lie, my SSI check is a month. That would be my rent, lights, and criminal felony fine. Pro bono, if I had 25,000.
No, you're just not my client. Look here, man, let me just say this, and I need you guys to understand something. No. We only do that when it comes to services, and in particular, black men. I don't care if it's your SSI check. That's your problem. Make more money. Real talk. Go make, if you want the outcome, go make more money. You don't go to sit your ass down at Papado and say, hey, this salmon dish is $40. That's half my phone bill. No. Go make more money or stay where you're at. Are you serious though? So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to go out and have 30 years experience in corporate America, or 25 years of experience in corporate America, spend tens of thousands and spend $50,000+ on my education and certification, take on all the overhead, all the certifications, all the classes, all that stuff, go out and make all the network contacts, industry contacts, do all that other stuff, make a thriving business in Oklahoma that does so well that I move it to Atlanta to grow it even more. And then I'm supposed to lower my prices because you're SSI? My friend, I don't mean any insult, but my business is not for 80% of the people. My business is for 20% of people or better. And I've constantly said that. I've constantly said that. Average people don't need an image consultant. They don't need an attorney either. They don't need an accountant either. The average person does not need a landscaper either, an interior designer, a decorator. You don't. But you also don't get that. See, we've lived in this culture where everybody thinks they can win. No, you drive what you drive. And that's not trying to be an insult, but look, man, if you can't get a Mercedes, you stay at what you get. I laugh because if I would, anyway, keep it moving. I can't afford 5 Rolex watches.
Just because I never catch the live stream.
That isn't in my life right now. Where did that come from? All right. Look, if you're not in the, look, you can listen to the stream. I can't stop you listening to the stream, but you know whether or not you're in the market. It doesn't matter if, and honestly, like BGS and so many other brothers have said on here, what I don't charge enough. Honestly, I've lowered the price. If I honestly, a certified image master, people at my level charge around $1,500 an hour, and they only deal with people who make at least $250,000 or up. Find me a certified image consultant that's at the master level that you see on YouTube. You don't see them. Most of them are working with politicians, actors, actresses. They are serving the 1%. They don't even, if you got to ask the price, you can't afford it.
Laugh at my pain.
I'm not laughing at your pain, dude. That's your, man, get off my channel, dude. He's all, see, grow some balls, man. I'm not laughing at your pain, but it's not my problem. Let's have this conversation. Laughing at your pain. You see the price of an item, you can't afford it. You don't try to go guilt them into lowering their price because of your situation. You just say, I can't afford it. And you man up and say, I can't afford it. Tell me where you do this in your real life. Say something else. Because honestly, if you living on that, let me go ahead and just bounce back, man. Let me go ahead and, since you want me to laugh at your pain, I'm gonna laugh at you this way. You just put $10 in there. If you're on SSI, why are you putting $10 in super chat? Really? Fuck out of here. So, on to the next subject. On to the next subject.
Appreciate your wisdom.
Well, honestly, to this point, guys, it's time to really, when we start talking about social class and money, see, when you start talking about social class and money, people who don't have it get in their feelings because they want it. You want it, but you don't have it. All right, but if you're not, but also, are you doing the work to get it? Let me go ahead and get you up out of here. Bye.
Google gave me these. This is the last free one, lol.
No, I'll do even better. Bye. What I need you guys to understand is this, and I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be the stream tomorrow. That's why I said you don't need. I want you to work, to take your accomplishments and whatever you do and wear it proudly. Do it proudly. Stop letting people's success shame you. See, if you were to go and try to shame people who didn't make what you do, they call you an asshole. But it's okay to do it the other way. Get out of here. Get out of here. How to get a social life. Here is how you get a social life. If you already are on the path to working in your career, and let's be clear, this is whether it's blue collar or white collar. There's this whole thing thinking about, well, blue collar guys don't have social lives and white collar guys are better than blue collar guys. That's bullcrap. White collar guys, blue collar guys. I don't make a distinction between white collar and blue collar at this level. If you're in the top 10 or top 20, top 10%, you're in the top 10 or top 20%, this is what I need you to understand. It's the mentality. There's a reason why you have the owner class, the upper and executive management class, the upper class, middle class, and the lower class. These classes tend to not mix, because if you do, you'd have the problem we just had right here. So if you don't like what I'm saying, leave. If it bothers you that if it bothers you that you can't afford to go to certain places to do certain things, leave. But if you want a social life, understand something. A social life is going to require this. It is going to require social skills to get out and network and deal with people, because honestly, what I just said, and we just went through, that's an expectation out there, because honestly, you got to understand, when people are out there building and owning these businesses, I think they see people all the time trying to want something for nothing. This is why you see celebrities and actors and actresses, who tend to marry each other. They don't tend to marry non-Hollywood people. That's what you do. They don't tend to marry non-Hollywood people. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm on zero tolerance today. Don't talk to me about anything other than what I'm talking about right now. If you ask anything other than what I'm talking about, I'm going to time you out or boot you. I have zero. Understand something. There's a reason why. What do you want out of life? What do you want out of life, and who do you want to associate with? Because it's time to get real. Because a social life can be hanging out at the country and western bar, it can be hanging out at the pool hall, it can be hanging out at the juke joint, or it can be going to the LA Opera, it can be going to the Buckhead Art Museum. What do you want? Who do you want to hang around? What caliber of life do you want? What caliber of life do you want? And in order to have a social life, there is a language that goes, there is a language that goes at every level. If you don't speak the language, you will be identified as an outsider automatically. There was a show called Turn. Turn was talking about the American Revolution. I guess I'm going to be blocking a lot of folks today. Y'all come in here acting crazy if you want to. Turn was a show talking about the American Revolution and how they had spies behind the scene. Spies behind the scene posing as British officers to gain insight and information. You know how one spy was found out? He could talk the talk, walk the walk. He looked like he fit. But they were sitting down at dinner. This spy dressed like a British officer. And they were sitting down at dinner. And the way he actually ate, how he handled his knife and fork, and where he placed them on the plate, people automatically spotted him and said, he's not English. They hung him. I want you to think about what I just said. He could act, he could walk around and do it, but something as simple as culture, how you were raised, to where if you're English, you had your knife in your right, you had your fork in your right hand, or your fork in your left hand, your knife in your right hand. You would cut your meat, you would set your silverware down in the appropriate place, then you would pick up your food and put it down. But in the colonies, they didn't do that. They did it the American way, and they were spotted. This is why so many guys don't have active social lives. You don't know how to move in these places. You don't know the cultures. You don't know what's going on. You may have the money. I'm going to say you have the money. I know you have the money because everybody that goes out here is not a millionaire. When I had guys come out from Dallas to MIT Dallas and we were in Highland Park, I'm like, everybody in here is not a millionaire. You got folks in here who are making less money than you. But why do these people feel comfortable in a variety of environments and you don't? Because you don't know the language. And this is how to build an active social life that other men envy. What do other men envy? They envy the fact that you can go in and out. You have options, you have choices. You have money, you have choices. And what you choose to do with it is your business. If you want to go hang out over with the blue bloods, it's cool. But if you want to go hang out with Nug and them, it's cool. But what guys envy is your ability to pick. You have choice. You have choice. Now, how many guys can honestly say you have an active social life? And what I mean by an active social life, I mean you go out not to a nightclub, but you go out, well, actually, I'll let you even have that. You go out to a nightclub. What if you don't like to hang out with others? Then you won't be truly successful. If you don't like to hang out with others, if you're an introvert and a recluse, let me go ahead and address this. Fuck your feelings. This is not something you have to like. It's something you have to do if you want to be at a certain level. Guys, you got to get over this fact that you only want to do what you like. You do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. When y'all sound like, oh, I'm an introvert and okay, well, guess what? Your network is your net worth. You don't have to do a thing, but you also don't complain when you're not getting out of life what you say you want. And if you don't like to hang out with others, I'm gonna honestly tell you something. Seek therapy. That's really let me back up. If you don't like hanging out with others, seek therapy. There's something wrong with you. Because human beings, by our very nature and our design, we're social creatures. That's who we are. That's in our DNA. So if you don't like hanging out with other people, something's wrong with you. Seek therapy. Next, decide, yeah, this is business, no space for feelings. That's why I'm saying this. My live streams are not for 80% of the people. My live streams are for guys who want to be in upper management or business owners, executives, whether blue collar or white collar. It's not for average everyday people. It's not. It is not. You know how many guys who are STEM who I meet out all the time because they have a business to run? If you have an engineering company, or you have some sort of, let's say you have a logistics company, you have a technical business, you still got to go get customers. Who's going to do that for you? If you as the business owner can't go out and make the network, you're going to have to pay somebody like me to go out and get customers, because without customers, there's no money. And and quality salespeople aren't going to take 10% of the contract value. They're going to want 20 to 30%, 50% of the contract value plus 20 to 30% of your business. See, the language I'm talking right now, a lot of guys don't even understand it. And that's the problem. If the things I'm talking about you don't get, you need to go do your research. That's why I say LinkedIn and all that other kind of stuff. You need to do your research. But once you have a profession, unless you plan on working for somebody for the rest of your life, if you ever plan on owning your own business, you're going to have customers, contacts. That's why you need an active social life. And a social life that makes other guys envy is a social life that makes you money and enriches your personal life. That means you hanging out with beautiful women, or you have a beautiful wife, and you making money. It's a balanced social life. Hit the like. Okay, hit the like button, folks. We got 95 likes. Hit the like button, or we don't move on any further. Hit the like button. Shout out to the CIA. What do we have here? Roja Dove Parfum. This is the one, the only Creation E. All right. Here's the like button. And also, y'all need to hit that super chat button. If I broke, we ain't got it. Come on. $5, $2, $1. Because see, nobody taught me all this. I had to go learn it myself. And honestly, I'm going to go over some highlights, but if you want to actually build a social life, how are you going to have to do it? You're going to have to learn how to do it one-on-one. Now, see, smart guys hire coaches and they get the information firsthand, specifically for their life and their situation. They don't sit around watching video after video after video. Smart guys pay the cost. See, when you think about everybody that went to high school, or think about everybody that went to college, how many people went to college? How many men went to college? But how many of you guys actually had tutors? See, you could always tell people who were going to do better than other folks, because the people who really wanted to do better, they went out and got tutors. Why did people go out? If you have 500, 1,000, if you have 500 people in your chemistry class, you could predict who was going to be at the top of the class. Why? Because those people tended to have tutors. Mama and daddy hired tutors. Didn't hire tutors just because you were behind and failing. They hired tutors because you wanted to make a good grade. How many of you guys actually had tutors? If you're a man and you've ever paid for a tutor, if you're a man and you ever paid for a tutor, raise your hand. If you're a man and you've ever paid for a tutor, raise your hand. This is going to be part of the presentation, because when you're out and about at a certain level, people know about this. Look, man, you don't have to do a doggone thing. But if you don't speak the language, if you don't make the moves, shout out Sam, yo baby, yo baby. If you're not in the fraternity, if you're not in the club, you don't have the connections. The deals and things that happen in your very city, you don't even realize how disconnected you are from real power. If you're a man and you've hired a tutor, if you're a man and you hired a tutor in college or in high school, if you paid for a tutor, put a 1 in there. Owen said, I did it to pass calculus. It was worth it. Swindham said, I had a tutor for my IT career. So think about how many people who did not get a tutor to pass calculus, Owen, because I used to tutor calculus. I tutored calculus and I tutored chemistry. You know how many people failed calculus because they would not go pay $20 an hour for a tutor? And by failing calculus, they couldn't move on, so they had to change their major from something STEM to business, and they automatically reduced their earning potential by $1 million. Let me get this right. If you would have hired a tutor that might have cost you $400, it could have made you could have put yourself in a position to have an additional $1 million over your lifetime. Are we thinking, guys? So who's your tutor right now then? Who's your social life tutor? Who is your real world tutor? See, when I say image consultant, most people think consultants are for people who need advice. Or you say coach, people think athletic. Okay, who's your tutor? Who's your tutor to help you learn how to move in these places, move in these environments? Because when I went to the private event the other day at Gucci, or even at the Buckhead art shop, it's over in shops at Buckhead, there was a whole language being spoken in there that most people just don't know. This is why constant learning is to your advantage. How to have a social life that other men envy, a balanced one that makes you money and makes your life and makes you attractive. That's what social life that other men envy. One that makes you money and one that makes you attractive. How does it make you money? Well, if you run a business, your social life should make you money, because you're in places with other guys, other business owners, other movers and shakers who either can do business with you or can put in a good word for you or put you into something. That's how it should make you money. Number two, beautiful women are in rooms with powerful men. And when women see you talking to other movers and shakers, they want to know, who's that? That's Owen. Who's Owen? Oh, girl. Yeah, he owns a logistics firm. Oh, really? Who is Steven? Oh, he he has a little he has an IT consulting firm. Is this new information to anybody? You know it exists. You just don't know how to get in or how to do it. And it's not as though you don't have the education, the smarts, or the money. You just don't know how to do it. And I'm gonna tell you, in order to learn how to do it, you're gonna have to learn what you don't know. You're gonna have to learn the language. You're gonna have to learn the culture. And then you're gonna have to get in the real world and try it out. How many of you guys have active social lives? Meaning in a 30-day time frame, you're out at least 6 times. An active social life. Because like today, Monday and Tuesday are the only days that I really don't go out and do any real scheduled networking, but I'm still out and about. After I leave, I have something to go to. Shout out to Glenn and Cameron, brother who runs the Hustlers Network. Me and that brother are gonna meet up for lunch or dinner. I've looked at every influencer of note in the Atlanta area, and I reached out and said, would love to contact you, love to meet you. Shout out, I contacted Rebecca Lynn Pope, her and her husband said, would love to meet you guys. Probably swing by their church. I am out here. I told you, you have to do the work. But how do you build the active social life? You get a tutor and you learn the language. That's what it's going to take, gentlemen. You're going to have to learn. You have to get a tutor and learn the language. Get a tutor and learn the language. Meetup is a great place to get started. And I want to say honestly this, and I want to address what Eric Killmonger said, because I need to also address this. Meetup is a great place to get started, but it is just that. It is very low level getting started. Meetup is nowhere close to being enough. Meetup is real. It's better than nothing, but it's real low level because it's free. And it's people who have an interest. You may go to a chess club or something, but there is so much stuff that goes on at the upper levels, the higher levels, that's hidden in plain sight, that you need to learn how to plug into these networks. See, there's an image portion that you need to talk about. Then there's a prospecting portion where you need to actually look. Then you got to do the actual talking part. Now, Eric Killmonger says, I don't have an active social life yet. I'm still building myself. Incorrect. Is some people have a high disinterest in socializing, or some people are outcasts? No, I think most people have a disinterest in social life because they need therapy. If you have a disinterest in other people, you need something's wrong with you. I firmly believe there's something wrong with you because we're social creatures. To be a hermit is abnormal. That's why they have the word hermit. Hermits were the introverts of old. They were abnormal. To be a loner was abnormal. To be a wanderer was abnormal. To be a man completely shut off from society and not rooted anywhere is abnormal. Even guys who were blue collar, they had bowling leagues, factory workers in the 50s and 60s, bowling leagues and the lodge meetings and the Elks. Everybody had something. But this whole thing of I'm building myself and then I will do it. Let me tell you, that is wrong-headed thinking. That's more of that either or. It is about and. You build yourself by getting in the fire. You don't become 14 karat gold, then you start. Do you guys understand what the smelting process is? Let's say gold. Gold is not made in bricks. It's in a rock. And what do you have to do with that rock? You got to chip it away with a pick. That's painful. Or to find the vein. And sometimes you got to pulverize it. Blast it with water. Sift it. But once you finally get the rock down to a certain level, you got to throw it in the smelter. And you got to turn the fire on. And then you got to take a sieve and whisk away the impurities. The hotter the fire gets, the more impurities come up. At some point you have 4 karat gold, sieve the impurities away. 8 karat gold, sieve the impurities. 10 karat golds get real hot. You can stop, but you're only gonna have 10 karat gold. But if you stay in that fire, if it stays in that fire, it gets more pure.
It's just a bad habit. Seek help.
Yep. You got to stay in that fire to become more valuable, like gold. Go look at the process of making 24 karat gold, the stuff you can leave your fingerprint in. You have to stay in the fire. You cannot avoid the fire. The fire is what makes you valuable. Eric, I know what you know how I use examples. The fire is what makes you valuable. See, you know what? Even people who may not like my message or my delivery, but what they can't say is he doesn't do what he says he's doing. When I said I'm moving from Oklahoma to Atlanta, I just jumped in the fire. Why? Because I want that smoke, because I knew if I had to just jump in here, I'd have to figure it out. I go to places and do stuff. You have to put yourself in the fire. This is why it is so important. If you want personal advice, one-on-one personal advice, you're going to have to get a tutor. I'm one. I'm going to constantly be talking about my coaching services because I'm not on YouTube to give away free information. I'm here to make money and grow my business. If you're not on my email list, understand something. You want to be on my email list because YouTube is changing here drastically. If you're not on my email list for my newsletter and everything else that's coming on, oh yeah, you will definitely want to be there. If you're not on my email list, you will definitely want to be there because at the end of this year will be the last. Well, I won't be live streaming on YouTube like this. To get on my email list, send me an email at Kevin at Made Men Image Consulting. Made Men, where we make men. My email list is not going to be me sending you a bunch of junk. My email list is going to be keep letting you know when I go live. It'll be my way of contacting and communicating. We're building a community because in 2020, we start the academies, the CIA Academy, where you will actually be able to go and look at the syllabus and enroll in classes. Yes, I'm going to be doing online classes. You'll be able to go and enroll in classes. Open enrollment starts 2020. There you go. Now, you'll be able to go enroll in class. And just like a class at college, once it's filled up, it's filled up. And then you will also be able to get one-on-one tutoring, coaching. That's in addition to. But see, just like going to college, or just like going to school or college, you go to class to get the teacher to lecture, but you still got to go do your homework. Then you got tests to take. But then after you get your degree, you still got to get out here and compete. Got to get guys back in the mindset of never stop competing. Comfort kills. Comfort is cancer. Far too many of you are comfortable. Just comfortable. You're making more money than anybody in your family ever made. You don't have any real problems. It's not great, but it's not bad. You're just wasting life. Then when I come along talking about get out here and network and do this and do that, it's a shock to your system because you spent so much time, you wasted so much time and you've got so comfortable, you're rusty. You don't know how to do it. Well, it's time. It is time to get out here. All right. Right now, for my patrons, I have my my 1 hour virtual consult is actually on holiday special. Limited supplies though. Once the limited supplies are gone, the price goes back to normal. So if you want to learn your style personality, learn what looks best on you, learn, let me go through this. Let me just do this because I don't think a lot of guys really understand what they're passing up on. In a virtual consult, image is everything, and we discuss your image, what you like to improve, and you'll get detailed advice on how to enhance your overall appearance. We'll exchange a few emails before our session, and then your general session will cover an in-depth analysis of your appearance. a 1-hour video call, advice on enhancing grooming and problem style areas, some grooming tips and tricks, especially for you, a personalized shopping list. That's important. A detailed plan of action for a follow-up call, and then 2 weeks of unlimited support, email support, following up on stuff we already covered. And you learn the all-important style personality. Which of the 9 really resonates with you? Understand something. The getting in typically takes about 2 to 3 weeks. When I get backed up, it can take even longer. But during this holiday period, I'm prioritizing this. So if you want to actually understand your style personality and get your image together, you need the book. You don't want to get it for yourself? Buy it for somebody for a holiday gift. Once the holiday pricing is filled, I only have a certain amount of lots. I'm doing it that period. Patron of the channel. That's where I just uploaded another video to Patreon. I got another one coming today. Bottom line is this, gentlemen. It's time. Talk time is over. Talk time is over. It's time for each one of you guys to start. If you're here and you really say you want to level up and take it to the next level, it's time for you to start doing the work on one-on-one level. I've given you as much advice as I can. I've told you, go get your head checked, go get those 60 hours, but now it's just straight up time, period. Straight up time. But let me tell you the advantage of having an active social life. Let me tell you the advantages of having an active social life. The advantages of having an active social life. Does anyone not understand what an active social life does for you? Does anyone really not understand it? If you don't understand what an active social life does for you, type no. If you don't understand what an active social life does for you, just type no. Because if you don't know, I'd love to answer the question. I would love to answer the question if you really don't know what an active social life does for you. If you don't understand, because I think some guys just, I know for a fact some guys are just like, you know what? I'm good. I really don't need it. I work a business and da-da-da-da-da. Why do I need it? Jarrell said he doesn't know what an active social life would do for you. No. Okay. In particular for a man. Only be social after you finish working on your purpose. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. See, I think a lot of you guys think social means pussy. Social life helps you refine and define your purpose. See, think about it this way. How do you become a better free throw shooter? How do you become better at batting? How do you become better at anything? How do you make it to Carnegie Hall? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, 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 practice. Social life gives you more practice. You practice talking about your business. You practice talking about your purpose. You practice talking about your passion. You practice making contacts. You practice. And you refine, you learn, you figure out what works, you get rid of what does not work, and you build your nest of contacts. Contacts, connections make you money. What does every business need? Customers. An active social life helps you get customers. It's not fun and games. This is why, gentlemen, why do you think that after hours socials and mixers, they're doing business? See, when I talk about social life and all that kind of stuff, so many of you guys come from this MGTOW, red pill, women are toxic. You don't even realize how much you're screwing up your business opportunities with your antisocial, introverted, hermit self. You sound just as toxic as the women you talk about a lot of times. Next, 5 more minutes and I'm out. Next, there is a component. There is a female component. Social life, you get a chance to interact with women, beautiful women of all nationalities. And any guy that says, you don't, if you don't like to be around beautiful women, something wrong. Something wrong. Trucking is my profession. I would love to work and live how I dress when I'm at home in sweats and tennis shoes. I suggest you book a consult. I suggest you book a consult. I can't tell you how to do this stuff. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna keep telling guys the same thing. You know you have a problem. My suggestions are my business. If you really want to fix, book a consult. I'll gladly tell you how to resolve your situation as a trucker, a blue collar guy, a guy who wears a uniform. But I can't tell you what to do that's really going to work in a 2-minute answer for free. Okay, here's another one of these answers. Yes, but not everyone is invited to those house parties. It's not that's your problem. Let me go ahead and talk to right here. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this. This is more of this bullshit. Not everybody is invited to those parties. That's your problem. That's your problem. You have to figure it out. You have to do something about it. You weren't invited. So what you gonna do? Real talk. You weren't invited. What you gonna do? You weren't invited. What you gonna do? Because obviously, the first thing you need to do is learn why you're not invited. That's why you need a coach or a tutor. Because if you're not invited, I'm gonna tell you why most of you aren't invited to them. Because you're not sociable people. You're not likable. You're not likable and you lack social skills. You may be solid people, solid characters, salt to the earth guys, tax-paying citizens, good dudes. But if people don't invite you places, because you're not likable. And you need to learn how to do that. You didn't make friends. Become someone that will be invited. Thank you, ABL. I talk about this all the time. I walked by Scotch and Soda here in Atlanta last week, a week before last, when I was in that hot pink fur coat. That was a private event going on in there. You're supposed to be invited to that. I walked up and I walked in and they looked at me like, hey, I belong there. I've been to at least 2 events in Atlanta like that. Because I walk up and it says a private event. Hey, what's going on? It's a private event. Oh, okay. What's the occasion? Oh, and the thing is, if you speak the language, if you know the culture, they let you in because they want more people like you. Think about what I'm about to say. If there's a private event going on and they don't know you, but if they feel like they should know you and you walk up and say, oh, it was a private event, what's going on? Oh, we're talking about, A, B, and C. Oh, yeah. What about D, F, and E? Yeah, I know about A, B. Oh, you do? What's your name? Kevin. Nice to meet you. Kevin. Leon. Hey, Leon. Hey, man, why don't you come on in? Okay. We need to get Kevin on the list. Now you're in the club. Now you're part of the group. These are things you need to learn. This is what gives you, this is the social life that other guys envy. And you need a tutor. If not me, you better find somebody, because what you can't do is think you're going to just sit there and figure it out on your own. Nope. You can't see your problems. Nope. You're going to have to get a coach, a tutor. Period. Point blank, end of sentence. Social lives, networks are your net worth. All right, gentlemen, I got to get out of here. I got stuff to get to. I'm going to throw something up on the screen real quick. I don't want to show her face though, but yeah. another cool thing about social lives is you get to meet stuff. You get to meet beautiful women. You get to meet beautiful women. You do. You simply do. You get to meet beautiful women. You get to meet beautiful women. Man, I should do a video about how men should style animal print and fur. I don't know. But I mean, I got so many things backed up, man. I don't know if I can, honestly. Get to meet. So tell me, what are you doing Monday night? That's where I'm going. And how do I meet these women? Because I'm out. Beautiful women, gold diggers, wrong channel. Get them off of here. Get up off of here. You got one warning. Don't start that bullshit on my channel. Just say you talk beautiful women are gold diggers. You said broke men got no gold to dig. Stop it. Oh my, Jim said, oh my God, just your type. How would she ever know? How'd I meet her? I'm walking through shops at Buckhead. Actually, I met her. Some women were coming out of, what's the name of that restaurant? Anyways, women were coming out of a restaurant upstairs and they were taking pictures of each other, selfies. And I was like, I can do that for you. And I offered to take their picture. This woman was walking out of the gelato place and heard me offer to take the picture. She's like, oh, that's nice. That's sweet. I'm like, oh, and you smell good too. One thing, look, man. Look, ain't nobody coming to your house to be your friend. Ain't nobody gonna come knock on your door to be your friend. And you cannot tell me, just like you sit around and talk about women that know they're unhappy, these women ain't happy without having a man who's they can lay their head on their chest and be in their arms. You can't tell me you happy just sitting in your house waiting for the next live stream to come on so you can get in the chat room and talk to somebody because you ain't got no friends. Ooh, did I say that out loud? Did I say that? Yeah, I said it. I'm saying it again. You cannot tell me you happy just to be sitting at home waiting for who gonna have a live stream so I can go talk to my friends. These ain't your friends. You don't know these people. These are chat room pseudonames and avatars. You need to get out and have a real life. All right. So tonight, I will be wearing Creation E. Oh, so good. Google Rosia Dove Creation E. And this is not the old school. This is the old school, dude. The Creation E. It's not Enigma. All right, gentlemen. Real life, real friends. Learn how to do it. Till next time, talk to you later. Peace and hair grease. Bye-bye.